Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And I wanted to talk about the process of taking a break in a relationship. Now, I know oftentimes relationships can get a little bit tricky, right? They can get a little bit difficult to navigate, especially if you've been in a long term relationship. So, there are times in which we may not necessarily feel completely fulfilled in a relationship. There are needs that are not being met. We do not feel super happy. There's times where we just want to exit, right? But for me, the biggest thing is making sure that before you make that decision, before you make the decision to end the relationship, to get a divorce, to separate, that you really sit down and try to understand the reasons for why you are feeling that you need this space. So, one of the alternative options to getting a divorce or breaking up is taking a break. So, what are some of the fundamental aspects that you need to be able to, that you need to think about or consider when you are taking a break in order to make it as less complicated as possible? And one of the primary ones to begin with is total transparency, right? Being completely upfront and honest about the reasons for why you're wanting to take the break. Maybe it is because there are specific needs that are not being fulfilled in the relationship, right? So you may not feel that your partner is fully in love with you anymore. You're not really feeling the chemistry. There isn't too much intimacy. The communication is not good. Whatever the case may be, it is incredibly important that you are clear and concise and transparent with your partner before you decide to take the break. Keep in mind, honesty is always the best policy, especially in a relationship. So, the other thing that I want to say before even considering the break is, have you tried everything? Have you gone through all the options? Do you feel like you have invested yourself in trying to fix the relationship, or vice versa? Have you guys sat down and had a conversation about what's missing? Have you expressed your needs? Have you set boundaries? Have you communicated these issues? If not, then my suggestion would be to sit down and communicate with your partner before even making the decision of moving on to a break. Because keep in mind, guys, a break is pretty serious. So it's a step before a separation or a breakup or a divorce. So this isn't something to take lightly, but it's also something that can be incredibly beneficial in your relationship if space is what is needed, if there's some reparations that need to happen, if there's some mending that needs to happen in the relationship, because sometimes it can be incredibly difficult to fix or mend a relationship when you're in the thick of it. So allowing yourself to pull yourself out of that situation and kind of view the relationship objectively can have incredible benefits. But again, I just want to stress the fact that you should make sure that you have tried everything possible before making the decision to move on to a break. The second thing that you want to do is make sure you set boundaries. So, what will the break look like? Is there going to be communication between the two of you guys? Are you going to see each other every once in a while? My recommendation, especially when you're taking a break, is that there should be no contact at all. There shouldn't be any exchanging of messages. There shouldn't be any phone calls. There shouldn't be any meetups, because the point of the break is in order for it. It's for you to be able to step back and reinvest in yourself, reevaluate your situation, and see whether you want to move forward in the relationship or not. And if you are still hanging around your partner, or you're still keeping open lines of communication with your partner, that can really complicate things, because what will end up happening is that you will take on the emotions of your partner. It is possible that you will feel bad about the decision because your partner may not have expected it, anticipated, or even wanted it at all. So they're going to be going through their own emotional stuff. And if you try to be a support system for them through this process, it can really muddle things. And you're going to find yourself in a situation where you don't know where left or where right is, or whether you should step forward or whether you should step back. The whole point, like I said, is to pull yourself out so that you can take a breath and recenter yourself and be able to make rational and logical decisions that are not based on negative emotions, right? So you want to be able to pull yourself out so that you can release and filter out whatever it is that you've been feeling in the relationship. The third thing, and one of the primary things that you want to take into consideration, is identify the reasons for the break. This is actually something that you should probably do prior to taking the break, but there is also going to be a process of self-awareness and recognizing the issues in the relationship when you finally have the opportunity to take a break and to step back and to kind of just be with yourself. Do not waste this time. Do not take this time to just kind of sit back and relax and just feel like you're on a little mini vacation from your relationship. That's not what this is about. This is about really allowing yourself to take a step back, to reinvest in yourself, to reevaluate your situation and say, what are the primary reasons for why I'm wanting to take a break? And as I mentioned before, maybe it has to do with communication. Maybe it has to do with a lack of intimacy. Maybe it's just you don't feel like you share similar hobbies anymore. Or maybe honestly, it's just an emotional distance that's happened over time, which is actually very common in relationships, right? Because we get into a relationship and we become comfortable and we fall into a routine and the relationship takes a back seat and is no longer a priority. And during that time, we have a tendency of kind of losing ourselves. We start to lose a sense of identity, our independence, and we kind of become interwoven with our partner. So being able to pull yourself apart during this time gives you the opportunity to be able to reflect and analyze specifically what the needs are and if they are repairable. And if you feel like you are willing to invest the time to really fix the relationship. The fourth and final thing that you want to take into consideration when considering a break is set a time frame. Oftentimes I find with my clients in one-on-one sessions is when they decide to take a break, it's kind of this indefinite type of feeling. There isn't a specific date, there isn't a specific time, like there just isn't anything. It's more so just I'm taking a break, and when I feel like I am in a good place mentally and emotionally, then I'll reach out to you. But you have to understand what that does to your partner. That kind of leaves them in a state of limbo and they just don't really know what's going to happen. Are you guys going to get back together? Are you not going to get back together? How serious is it? Is it something that, again, could just result in the finality of the relationship itself? And that puts a lot of stress and anxiety on your partner. So keep in mind when you go back, if you decide that you want to repair the relationship, there's going to be some emotional fallout on the other end that will have to be dealt with. And that's going to involve some patience and some humility in order to be able to work through that. So what we are trying to do is eliminate some of these things, right? Be completely clear and transparent and let your partner know the reasons for why you're wanting to take the break and give them a time frame. So for you, if you feel like you just need 30 days, you need 1 month to step back and say, I need to really reflect and figure out what it is I want, then tell your partner that. Look, I'm going to need 30 days. I would really appreciate it if there was no contact because I need to be able to emotionally flush out some things. When I am through that process, I will reach out to you. So be expecting a text message or a call or whatever within 30 days. And when you set that date, when you set that time frame, make sure you follow through. Because if you are not ready, even at the 30-day mark, it is still important to reach out and say, hey, I know I said I was going to reach out at the 30 days, but I'm not ready yet. Give me another 2 weeks or another 3 weeks. As long as you're able to communicate that effectively to your partner, then you're doing your part. But just keep in mind that you want to follow through. If you guys like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I love having open dialogue with people. So if there's anything that you feel like I missed or just you felt like you got some good stuff out of this video, please make sure you leave your comments down below. I love to read them. If you just want more details and you want to dive a little bit deeper, you can visit us at happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this topic and many other topics as well. If you'd like to book a one-on-one coaching session with either myself or any other of the amazing coaches on the team, you can book directly through the website. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. Hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you guys soon.